All right. Good morning and welcome to another session with Coach Ray, the market trader. My name is Ray, the market trader, and welcome to another pre-market review session. All right. So let's go ahead and pull up the risk disclosure. Okay. And we're just going to talk through the risk disclosure here a bit. So again, just want to remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by the market trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offered to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Testimonials appearing on the website may or may not be representative of other clients or customers and is not a guarantee of future performance or success. Use of the information is to be used at your own risk. Okay. And the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. Future trading does contain a substantial amount of risk, and it's not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital, and only risk capital money that can otherwise be jeopardized and lost should be used when trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer to buy, sell futures, options, forex. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right. So now that we gotten the risk disclosure out of the way, guys, I wanted to take a look at the news portal here and see what kind of news do we have. Obviously, we're in earnings week. There's still a good number of earnings that are being reported as we speak here. We have the Verizon and American Express earnings call. We have some significant news coming in about an hour. Okay. We have PMI coming in, manufacturing PMI, composite PMI. We have existing home sales coming in at 10 a.m. We also have some inflationary numbers coming in at 10 a.m. So a fair amount of news between now and 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay. So something to be aware of, something that could impact the markets initially. So yeah. So now that we have a better sense of the news, we can kind of go ahead and move on to the charts. All right. So let's go ahead and move up to the charts here, guys. All right. So we'll take a look. We'll disable some of our indicators here for now. We'll change the instrument that we're going to be looking at here to gold to start. Okay. All right. So here's the gold market that seems to be on a kind of a little bit of I would say a tear to the upside. Okay. We're looking at the daily chart. You can see that we are making some significant inroads into potentially getting up to that 2,800 level, which we've kind of talked about in the past. Okay, so this 28 level is obviously an area where we could see some resistance. It's also a psychological number, but nonetheless, it appears that we are going to at least retest it. Okay, before we could potentially see some sort of pullback from that number. Now, if we do happen to get above it, right, we can use 2,800 as a support level. When I say above, I'm not saying wick above. What I'm saying is close above. Okay, we need to see price close above, and then assuming that it closes above, then we can use that as a reference level, maybe for some continued price movement to the upside. You can see here that the volume delta is indicating that there's a fair amount of buy volume. Okay, that is aligned with the direction of the trend at the moment. Okay, so gold appears to be very quite bullish at the moment. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the 45-minute chart. Okay, 45-minute chart. We're going to take a look at this here and see what the 4-hour chart is telling us. Again, we are above our daily VWAP. We're above value. We're above some of these EMAs that we care about. So everything is indicating that there is further upside opportunities available in this market. We have a developing 4-hour chart for our candle that is again looking quite bullish. Coming into this is 45 minutes. Sorry, let's move this to a 4-hour. Okay, so again, same story. We see that we have the 4-hour chart, a 4-hour 2800 level right above us here. Okay, so we can kind of slightly move this down here a little bit. There's our 2800 level that I mentioned. I think we're destined to reach that today. Okay, before we make any sort of potential reversals in price. Okay, we're starting to make some higher highs and higher lows. We're above some of the things that we care about. Okay, so let's take a look at the 30-minute chart, and we'll do a little bit of analysis here. So we're at the moment we're developing a rather, I would say, narrower than normal kind of initial balance range. Now that could be a result of the fact that we have some news headed in our direction. Okay, maybe folks are waiting before they commit to any direction to understand and digest the news and then decide which direction they want to take the market. Like I said, I feel like we are a bit destined to get up to this 2800 level before we see any significant, potential, any sort of pullback in price. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at where is price in relation to value from yesterday. Okay, well, there's our value area range. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and extend that out here. Okay, there it is. Okay, there's our value area high. We're going to go ahead and add our ADR and ASR. Well, I believe ADR we've already exceeded. ASR, if we haven't exceeded it, we're pretty close. Okay, so there it is. 27. Oops, what happened there? $27.94.4 is our average session range high. Okay, so again, all three markets, all three time frames indicating that there's more upside opportunity in this market. Okay, good morning, Keith. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the my price levels here that I'll be tracking in this market. I've already called out this 4-hour supply here at 2800. Okay, so 2800, we have our value area high at 2766.80. Okay, and let's see, we've already exceeded average daily range. So yeah, the only thing that really remains for me to add to this chart is my anchor VWAP, and I'm going to go ahead and locate someplace here to start. Let's add it to the start of the London session here. Okay, so that'll kind of track for me kind of London sentiment, right? So London sentiment remains above, right? So above this anchor VWAP, indicating that we still have a fair amount of upside opportunity. Now, we are coming into an area here, or average session range high, okay, that could offer, something in the way of reversal, or at least a cause price to maybe stall here for a bit. Okay, I don't expect it to just kind of power through that level without doing something similar that it did here with the average daily range, right? Got to average daily range, kind of hovered here for a bit, realized that there is still, fair amount of interest to the upside before it extended higher. The same could be true for the average session range. If we do exceed it, chances are we will kind of maybe hover around it and then make our next leg potentially higher here. At least I would think to 2800, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. Okay, all right. Let's see if there's anything else that I should be calling out here. I think that's pretty much it, guys. I'm obviously a little hesitant here to kind of buy at the highs. Okay, I would say that we would probably be better served for some sort of pullback, right? Some sort of pullback down to anchor VWAP or daily VWAP or something along those lines to begin to think about looking long. Okay. I'm not a big fan of paying retail price, and I feel like I'm paying retail right now at its current levels. So I'm kind of marking in. I'm gonna say right about say 27.85 would be a logical level, maybe to make that in green. That would be kind of a logical level to participate in because that's the last known resistance zone on this time frame. Okay, so anywhere in this area would be an area that would maybe provide an opportunity for a trade to the long side. Now, if you are so inclined, we are coming into some areas here that could provide maybe a reasonable short, but you have to understand that all the time frames are indicating higher. Okay, so uh, you need to manage that tightly, I would say. Okay, because it is an area where we could manage our risk. Right, we're in an area where we could use in this case average session range high. Yeah, average session range high or initial balance high as a kind of a barometer for that, right? So if price maintains below average session range high or initial balance high, that could be the how you say the reference level that we're looking for to support a short trade. Okay, but it is a bit counter trend. Okay, all right. I think that's all I have for gold. Taking a peek here at chat, I'm seeing anything in the way of questions. So we'll move on to the crude oil chart. All right. So we're going to go ahead and remove these levels here. Okay. And again, we're going to go ahead and start off here with the daily chart. Okay. And looking at the daily chart of late, okay, you can see that price has come into an area of potential support here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw it in. So it's an area of consolidation, right? That's the last kind of location that the bulls left. Okay, right? So we had consolidation and then some initiative price action to the upside. Now we're back to this level, developing a bullish candle, right? Now the question is this going to serve as an area for price to reverse from? Okay, or are we going to continue to explore further lower? Okay, as based on what I'm seeing on the daily, it seems like there is some interest, although it's being met with some sellers. You can see here we have a wick on the top here of this volume delta bar. Okay, so so yeah, so right now we're at a demand zone. And otherwise, I think if you were to look at this of late, we've been kind of in bearish structure, right? So we might be a little bit overdue for maybe for another push higher. Not to say that it's necessarily going to get above 80, but we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight days of bearish kind of movement. Okay, so it stands to reason. Okay, stands to reason that this could be a maybe a potential update. I say potential. Okay, nothing is definitive. We have to wait for price events and things to give us a clue that that is indeed in the cards. All right. Looking at I'm going to go ahead and turn off initial balance because we're not quite there yet. Going to remove some my drawings here. Okay, so you can see here that we're right next to what is this EMA? 169. Okay, I don't know where my 233-day EMA has gone. Okay. Well, any case, we got a little bit of a reaction here away from the 169 EMA. We can see that price has come into an area of demand here, right? You can see here on the left. This is probably a little bit clearer than on the daily, right? So the question is, but you can see here, we still are in very much bearish structure, right? There's nothing here that indicates that we should really be, chasing any trades here, right? We have not broken any structure to the upside, right? We remain in this bearish structure to the downside. So until we break, I would say 76, really 76 is probably the earliest level that would, I guess indicate that maybe there is a change of character. Otherwise, it looks like we are going to continue lower. Okay. Hey, solo trader. All right. Moving down to the 30-minute chart. All right, 30-minute chart. We're going to go ahead and, again, remove our drawings. We know that we're in this kind of bearish channel here. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the 169 EMA. And then we're going to open up our ADR. We're going to open up our ASR. Okay. And we're going to take a look and see what the market is trying to tell us. Okay. Well, you can see that price is challenging VWAP, right? Because since the close or since the open of Asia, we've had kind of bullish kind of price action. Now, as we near the open of London, not London, New York, looks like they want to go back and maybe potentially retest these folks down here. Okay, retest the conviction of some of these buyers. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchor VWAP for London again, because I want to get a sense for where we are with respect to London. You can see that price has already made it below London. All right. And then the next thing we're going to draw here is our fixed range volume profile. We're going to locate the start of Thursday here, right about there. Okay. And we're going to drag that across to about here. Okay, so you can see that price is inside value from yesterday. Okay, that is usually an indication of range kind of price action. There's really no, I would say, basically imbalance is what we're saying. We're kind of in temporary balance when we're inside the value range from the prior day. Okay, so in any case, we have our ADR levels. We're going to go ahead and open up our ASR. That's there as well. Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to be adding to this chart are my price levels, and then decide exactly what I'll be looking for going in. Okay. So right now, so here are our price levels. Okay. For this market. Right now, we had a relatively nice swing to the downside. Now the question is this merely a pullback? Okay, is this just a pullback for a continuation move to the downside? That's kind of my current feeling. Okay, this just right now appears to be more of a pullback, maybe for a continuation move to the downside. Okay, we have initial balance that's going to open up here in about a minute. All right, and then we'll get a feel for what that brings us. So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be waiting for the initial balance range for the next hour here, and then decide at that point which direction is price. Which direction do they want to take it? Are they going to extend price below initial balance low? Are they going to extend price above initial balance high? Right now, it feels to me like it might be a bit bearish. Okay, that's kind of my current feeling in this market. All right. So we just had the open, just the open of the market here. You can see that the initial balance range is starting to develop here as I speak. All right. So we'll have to wait and see what this initial balance range provides us in the way of opportunity. Okay. So I'm going to wait for this initial balance range to establish and then decide which direction do they want to take it. Are they going to use VWAP here? Looks like we had one test of VWAP. That's been met with some buyers. We have another test of VWAP. We'll see if VWAP can hold. If VWAP cannot hold, then I would say that we'll continue lower. If it holds, then maybe we are in another leg to the upside, and we could maybe start to think about these levels above us, maybe 75. Right, this is kind of our average daily range level, right? 75, 59. An average session range. Okay, so we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see what kind of price action we end up getting. I'm going to be kind of drawing this kind of channel here. All right, that's kind of my litmus test is to see if price can get above this channel, then and hold, and maybe that we are indeed looking at an opportunity to the upside. Okay, looks like VWAP is for now holding. Okay, and if it holds, then we can use that as a reference level. And if we get a price event that closes above, then well, that's another feather in the cap of anybody who is bullish since the start of Asia. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the crude oil market. I initially kind of was kind of thinking bearish. We're starting to get some bullish price action at the moment. I think really for it to really embrace the longs here, I would say that we need to get above 75. Okay. And if we get above 75, I think that opens the door for maybe some of the prior highs from Thursday. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in crude oil. Let's go ahead and move on to the market that everybody's interested in, and that is the NASDAQ. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Okay. We'll move into the daily chart and see what the daily chart is telling us. Well, the daily chart is kind of hovering at the highs here. Okay. Much like we were talking about, I can't remember, I think it was probably crude oil. But as crude oil has been going down, NASDAQ has been going up. Okay. So we see that we've been in this kind of bullish trend here. You can see that price volume delta is aligned with the direction of this market. We're coming into some areas. I've drawn this in the past. We seem to have broken some structure here to the upside. Now we're coming into another area, maybe that could be resistant around 22,000. Okay. We have another area above us at 22,500. Okay. So the question is this going to continue to the upside? We're starting to see a little bit of rounding here up on the top. So is that rounding an indication that we might see maybe a pullback of some sort? Okay. We do have a fair amount of news coming in about 45 minutes, okay, to an hour. And that could add a jolt here to the market. So we'll have to wait and see what that offers us. Okay. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay. 4-hour chart, we've been kind of see a lot of overlapping candles of late, kind of, so you have similar to what we saw here. Is this an indication that, are we kind of getting ready for the next leg higher? Or is this going to be a situation where we maybe make a little bit of a pullback down to maybe the 21,800 level before we extend higher? We'll have to wait and see. We're still, like I said, we're about 25 minutes or so away from the open of the market. So we'll have to wait for that to take place and then decide from there. All right. 30-minute chart. Okay. So you can see we've been ranging overnight, right? A lot of overlapping candles above and below VWAP. Okay. Not the kind of market I want to be a part of. Okay. With all the overlap in price. Okay. So let's take a look at fixed range volume profile here and see what that tells us. Okay. Is price above, below, or inside? I feel like it's going to be inside. We're going to go ahead and look for a close. Well, actually, technically is above. Okay. So price is above our value, right? Indicating that we have a fair number of bullish price action. And we did get a nice reaction here, again, right around London. And we kind of rallied a bit from that level. Okay. But have not been able to get above 22,050. Now, the question is, are we developing a little bit of a demand zone here? I'm sensing that a little bit. Okay. There's a little bit of a demand zone that's being established here. Okay. Now, if price can remain above 22,000, I would say that we have a reasonable chance for price to continue higher. Okay. That's kind of what I'm seeing right now. 22,000 is kind of my line in the sand. If price remains above 22,000, then I would say that we have a reasonable chance to get to maybe some say ADR high or ASR high. Okay. Right now we're already at ADR high or hovering around it. So I need to see price get above 22,000, and then maybe that will be the how we say the trigger that we need, okay, for price to continue to the upside. Okay, we do have a fair amount of news, so I don't know if I want to take an execution prior to the news. Okay. And if so, if I do take something prior to the news, then I would probably want to be flat before the news hits, right? Because I could be in a profitable trade and have it turn non-profitable in a split second here. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add our levels here that I'll be looking at and watching. All right. So here they are. Here are my levels that I'll be tracking in this market. Okay. So the initial balance range is still, well, the initial balance is still something we need to wait for. We're about 20 minutes away from the open of the market here. Okay. Again, I'm kind of inclined to do one of these numbers here. All right. If I do get a close, that could lead me to maybe some price movement to the upside here. Okay. That's kind of what my current feeling. All right. But that quickly could change if price happens to close below value. All right. So I'm bullish as long as we remain above 22,000 and above value area high. My view is to the bullish side. Okay. All right. Let's see if no questions. All right. Let's move on to the ES. Okay. ES market. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start with the daily. All right. Daily chart. Okay. Daily chart making new highs or trying to. Okay. So then we had a close above this area. And today, kind of creating a little bit of a doji kind of candles, maybe some indecision at these levels, really not understanding exactly where to take this at the moment. We had a nice bullish candle here yesterday, and then it's been kind of followed up with kind of a block candle, not block candle, but a block delta bar. Okay, so but the market is not open yet, so we'll have to wait and see. Okay, but it does appear to be bullish. All right, moving on to the 4-hour chart. This is where we see our series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and turn off initial balance here for a moment so you can see our series of higher highs and higher lows, right? We're kind of staircasing our way higher. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, much like NASDAQ, we've been kind of in this range of late. We've been kind of flirting with VWAP above and below it. I'm going to go ahead and open up my fixed range volume profile for the start of Thursday, which is right about here. Drag that across to the close of Thursday, and you can see that price is above value, indicating that we have a fair number of buyers in this market. Okay, so that's positive for those who are thinking long. Okay, I would say that the line in the sand for me, I'd like to see it. Obviously, if I'm a buyer, I'd like to be able to make a new high here. Okay, so 6150 is the one I'm looking at right now. I would not want to see price close back inside value, because that would be an indication of that this bullish move that it's attempting to make, or these folks that attempted to make, have lost hold of the market. Okay, so this appears to me maybe that they're accumulating here a little bit at these levels to make another leg to the upside. Okay, but we won't know for certain, obviously, until the market opens. So I need some more evidence. I need some more data. Initial balance is going to be a guide. The volume delta is indicating there's a fair number of buyers at the moment in this, right? 3,000 more buyers than sellers at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open up my my price levels here. Just go ahead and add it to the chart. So here are our price levels. Okay, we have our ADR zone. We're above. We have we're not above our ADR zone, still a ways away. We have ASR. So these will serve as reasonable targets for any trade that we take. Okay, so right now my view again, I feel like it's to the upside. Okay, but like I said, that only holds true if we remain above value area high. If we close below value area high, then I would say that view would change. Okay. So the key for me is for price to remain above this blue line. If we can remain above this blue line and start to make some new highs, then I would say that we have a good opportunity to start to challenge some of the highs here. Okay. All right. So that is what I have for the ES here. So again, similar to the NASDAQ, I would say that it appears to be bullish. Okay. I'm just waiting for the market to open, and then maybe that would give me again a further indication, initial balance, and that sort of thing to look for maybe a potential execution. All right. Moving on to the Dow. All right, we'll take a look at the Dow. Okay, so again, we'll remove some of our drawings. Okay, remove our and start off with a daily. And ask ourselves the question, well, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, you can see, okay, you can see that the market has been on a steady climb for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Bullish bars for a week. Okay. Now the question is this going to continue? Well, we have some concerns here in the horizon. Okay, we have this area around say 45,000 that could be resistant. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark that in red. This could be an area of resistance that could cause price to reverse. Okay. That's certainly a possibility, right? This is an area where we've seen some sellers in the past. Okay. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay. Again, staircasing our way to the upside. So again, are we going to continue with the upside move? Well, that's what it's telling us. That's the view that we're getting at the moment, right? We have bullish price action. The only thing, like I said before, is that we are coming into some daily supply zones. And when we come into some daily supply zones, well, I don't know about you, but I pay attention. Okay. Daily 4-hour supply demand and supplies are something to make note of, their location. Okay. All right. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay. So we have some headwinds above us, right? We have 45,000 is coming in as our close to our average daily range high. Okay. Right now we are below VWAP. Okay. Below it. Okay. So that could indicate maybe for some further price action to the downside. I'm going to go ahead and open up our anchor VWAP here. And I'm going to locate London, which was right about here. We're below anchored VWAP as well. Okay. So we have some London folks who are bearish. Okay. So and the daily session also telling us that maybe we are a little bit on the bearish side. Okay. We're going to go ahead and open up fixed range volume profile. Okay. Fixed range volume profile. We'll go ahead and look for the start of yesterday. Okay. There it is. We'll drag that across to the close right there. And you can see of the two markets, or of the equity markets that we've reviewed so far, the Dow is by far the most bearish. Okay. We have not exceeded, or we did exceed, but not able to make much progress to continue to the upside. On the contrary, we've kind of faltered here a little bit. Okay. So out of all the markets that we've seen so far, the Dow looks the most bearish. Now, I don't have any levels that I've captured here on my spreadsheet for this market, but we'll create a little bit of an abbreviated set, okay, for you guys. So again, on the top end side, 44,981. Okay, that is going to be my average daily range high. Okay, I have 44,951 as my average session range high. Okay, and then we have let's see, we have point of control. Prior point of control here was 44,652. 44,652 is our point of control, the place where we've received the most volume. Okay, price that's received the most volume of price. Okay, and then let's see, we have value area high coming in at 44,756. So we'll squeeze that in here. 44,756 is our value area high. Okay, so again, similar to what we were saying about the NAS and the ES, as long as price remained above, we were thinking long. But in this case, in the Dow, we're below. So as long as we remain below value, or below value area high, we have to think more bearish. Okay. All right. So let's add our lower levels here. So we'll have 44. 543. That's our average session range low. Okay. And then we have our value area low. That's going to be at 44,492. That's our value area low. And then we have a average daily range. So we have 44,480 is our average daily range low. Okay. So right now, like I said, I would say my feeling is that we need to look for opportunities to the short side. We can certainly use the current level. All right. I would say that we would be wrong on our view of this if price were to get above, let's say, 44,700. Okay. If price manages to get above 44,700, then my current sentiment of lower prices is flawed. Okay. I would not want to see price make a new high or break this prior high. Okay, in order for me to think that this is a market that's going to continue to the downside. Okay, so we'll have to wait and see. We have about 12 minutes or so before the market opens here. So we'll remain patient and wait for that to take place before we take on any or consider any sort of executions. Me personally, I generally wait for the initial balance range to kind of establish here before we take on any opportunities or any trades in the market. Okay. So with that, I think what I'm going to do here is kind of talk, since this is a kind of a complimentary market analysis, pre-market analysis session, wanted to talk a little bit about our membership. Okay, use this as an opportunity to talk through some of the memberships that are available at the Market Trader. Okay, and so talk through that a little bit here. So we'll go ahead and add our levels here. Let's see. All right, so we're going to go ahead and copy this. We're going to display this, and we're going to we're going to turn our attention. Oops. Try this again. All right. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and share. I'm going to share my new screen here. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and talk through some of the membership levels. locate it. There it is. All right. So so we have three main levels. Uh, three main membership levels. Okay. So we have the Market Trader starter level. Okay, that's $34.99 a month. That's more of a, I would call that more of a self-service, right? Where you get access to educational content. Okay, you know, nothing in the way of sort of live analysis or live kind of trading sessions or anything of that sort. That would provide you access to our library of videos and new videos that come on board on a variety of topics around trading. Okay, now the first level to I guess really participate in a session like this, right, where you can participate live, ask questions of me live, would be the Market Trader Plus series. Okay, at $49.99 a month. Okay, that would be the first level where you would be given access to these live analyses. Okay, um, so that's the Market Trader Plus. It includes everything about the starter level, but in addition, the Market Trader Plus will also offer recordings of past trades. Okay, and then the ultimate level here, or the highest level, highest membership level, is the Market Trader Pro series. That includes everything that the starter and the plus provide. Okay, but then it also gives you access to live sessions with me once or twice a week. I will trade the markets live and trying to open that up a little bit more for off markets, maybe Asia potentially, if I can find an instrument that resonates with me and my strategies. Okay, so those are the three levels. I'm going to go ahead and add the membership here to the chat. Okay, would ask that maybe certainly take a gander and take a look at that a little bit. At minimum, my hope is that you would at least hit the subscribe and like buttons. Okay, that's kind of the lifeblood for content providers such as myself, and it encourages me to kind of continue to provide this content to you guys on a daily basis. All right. So again, guys, with that, we'll go ahead and close off this session. For members, I will be opening up a live trading session, since we had to cut our session short yesterday. So we will have a live trading session here right at the close here, or at the open of the U.S. market. We'll take a look and see what opportunities present themselves there. Okay. We'll sit through and watch the news as it happens today at 9:45. With that said, today is Friday, so Friday should be Capital Preservation Fridays. Okay, so if you've had a relatively good week, Friday is not the day to give it all back. All right, you want to set some sort of limit as to what you're willing to risk capital wise in the market, and be disciplined to hold yourself to that. And yeah, so like we close all these sessions, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys. For members, again, be on the lookout for a notification here shortly for a live trading session with you guys. We'll probably spend maybe an hour there trying to look for some opportunities for us to close out the week. All right. That's it for me. Again, thanks again for your support. And until next time, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys, have a good day.